What's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're having a little bit of fun. We had played a few different types of MARDU decks today over on our Facebook gaming stream, and you can always catch me there on Facebook Gaming or on Twitch. If you want to join the streams, the links are down in the description below. Highly recommend it. You could be part of giving some suggestions while we build some decks on stream, maybe get help with the deck list, or just come have fun and hang out and ask a bunch of questions. You can do that too. But anyway, MARDU stuff. That's what we were doing today. And I actually had a blast doing this. These decks were way more fun than I thought they were going to be. But I'm only going to feature one today, and it really rides on the back of Extus, which is a really cool new card. So we're going to get into that, talk about this card, and then see some really cool gameplay that this deck's actually capable of. So let's get to it. Alright, one of the big tenets of this deck was trying to find a way to make sure we could still hang with the Sultai Ultimatum decks while still being able to hold up against the aggro decks, being able to kill off maybe even some of like the Winota decks, and try to find some ways around a few things. So we had to lean on some cards that kind of fit a middle ground to really be able to get us to the end game to do the things we wanted to do. So there's some card choices that look a little bit strange, but they actually make a lot of sense here. So we're going to start at the top with 4 Acquisitions Experts. Like, this is a card that I think people generally look at and go like, well, I'm not playing a heavy discard deck or whatever. But truthfully, when you're playing against stuff like the Ultimatum decks, a lot of times just getting them to discard 1 or 2 cards or force them into a tough choice, or maybe having to keep a land over another card, like even just that little bit can buy you a little bit of time. The other interesting thing is we do also have some clerics in the deck, so if you draw this later after having one of the clerics on the field, you can actually get your choice of 2 cards, which a lot of times you can get the opponent down to 2 or 3 cards in hand, and that helps out a lot too. Then we have Valky, God of Lies. We're playing 3 of these. This actually kind of works in tandem in some ways with the Acquisitions Expert, because you can sort of clear their hand a little bit, get one of the key cards out, or, you know, just set yourself up for later. And the other cool thing is you kind of now get to know what card is more important for you to get rid of with that Acquisitions Expert. But another way to destroy the opponent's hand, humiliate. So we're really going after the opponent's hands here in the early parts of the game to kind of buy you time for later. And, you know, you do get the bonus that humiliate can put a +1/+1 counter on things. But what you're going to see is there's a lot of times you just play it on 2 or play it before you have your creature out, because it just lets you go ahead and start ripping their hand down. And yeah, you don't get the full benefit of getting that +1/+1, but it's actually okay. Partly because we have Silver Quill Silencer. And the only other deck I've played this in so far, other than this deck, was the actual Clerics list. But here it actually works okay, especially coming right behind a Humiliate, because then you know your opponent's hand, you know their next best card. You can go ahead and just call that, and then they either get stuck not playing it, so they don't give you a card and take 3 damage, or they just do, and they take 3 damage and you get a card, right? So it doesn't really matter, and you still have a 3/2 creature, so don't mind that one bit at all. Then we have Vanishing Verse. I'm playing 4 copies of this, but I'm not too sure how good this card is, but I do think it's actually pretty damn good. But there are some times you want to be able to kill something like a Winota or something like that, so it's possible that in the final version we may decide to like split these, like 2 and 2, maybe with the Mastery. You know, maybe Baleful Mastery could be the card we want in that spot. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out and how much we care about it, since we do have some other removal cards. Namely things coming up here with Elite Spellbinder. This is just a good all-around card. It's actually one of the best cards you can have in this list against something like the Ultimatum decks, where you can get the Extinction Event to slow them down. You can get the Shadow's Verdict. Even if it's just later and they're on turn 6, you know, maybe they're about to play an Ultimatum the next turn, you can make that Ultimatum cost 2 more turns out. So there's a lot of different things you can do here to really slow the opponent down. I had one game where the opponent put Yorion in their hand, and then I just made Yorion cost more so they couldn't have a blocker, and I was able to attack 2 more times with the Spellbinder. So there's a lot of funny, quirky situations that come up with this card. And it's funny because I think a lot of people saw this when it got previewed, and for some reason there are still non-believers and naysayers in this card. But trust me, if every player, every good player is telling you this card is good, it's good. Bonecrusher Giant, possibly the best card in Standard. We know that, so moving on. Extus. Now, this is the card we wanted to talk about. Like, the fun part about Extus in this list is that you can use, like, Humiliate. You can use Vanishing Verse. You can use a Stomp. and then just get creatures back out of the graveyard. The fun thing is you can actually recycle Bone Crushers that died. So you can play something like a Humiliate, get a Bone Crusher out of the yard. Now you have 2 damage to help finish the game. So that's pretty exciting too. So you can do a lot of stuff from a bunch of different angles with this list. I'm really, really digging that card here for sure. The other thing too is that you can make the avatar on the backside. The one thing I will say about the avatar though is don't be quick to rush to get the avatar. Extus has a lot of value, being a double striker, being 4 toughness, being able to let you get creatures back out of your graveyard. Granted, you can't get Valky, so keep that in mind. That is a thing. It has to be non-legendary. But both sides of this card are very good in this deck. And this was kind of one of the things that when it got previewed, and as a matter of fact, this was my preview card for the season, was that if you could find a way to play all 3 colors, like you do get a very big benefit of using both of these. It also is a really nice card because having it as a double-sided creature lets you really, the whole double face thing here, gives you the benefit of using both cards at different stages of the game when either one might be more important. So really be careful when you play this card because you don't want to just lay it out there and not get anything for it. But if you can get even 1 trigger off of it, like that's a really big jump up here. Then we're playing 3 Showdown of the Scalds. This is the kind of way to just reload our hand, maybe find a removal card late, find a discard spell, you know, maybe find 2 damage from a Bone Crusher Giant. Really, this is kind of, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I just want to get more cards, or whatever, but this is like our late game search card. Find our key cards that are going to help us close the game from wherever we're at. And then Lorehold Command. And this is one that you might look at the rest of the deck and go like, why Lorehold Command? But truthfully, this is a finisher in a lot of ways for this deck. Like you can give all your creatures indestructible, which is huge. You know, just being able to shoot the opponent or shoot a big blocker. You know, there's a couple of times you have something like a Spellbinder and maybe they have a 2 or 3 toughness thing in the way. You want to get rid of that. You know, being able to draw cards. I think that's that's the one on here I think a lot of people avoid, but I use it quite a lot on this. A lot of times it's make a creature or shoot something for 3, gain some life, and draw 2 cards. You know, especially if it's like turn 7, turn 8, you know, you have a bunch of mana on the field, just go ahead and get rid of a land, draw a couple of cards. You'd be amazed how good that is. As for the lands, we are in a little bit of a tough situation here because we do want to make sure we get plenty of black and white mana, but you do need to have just a little bit of red out there whenever the time comes. So we're going 3 plains, 3 swamp, 1 mountain, 4 of each of the Bright Climb and the Blight Step pathway. We're doing just 3 Needle Verge pathway, going with 3 Savai Triome and 3 Fable Passage. We'll see how this works out. You have to be careful with the lands coming into play tapped, especially early, but if you can dodge that, the rest of it might be home sailing. That's not the phrase, but you know what I mean. Clear sailing. Anyway, let's go watch some games in the arena. And as always, be sure to check me out on the backside of the games as we'll have some final tips for the deck and a card spotlight for you. So just going to be a straight up Teamer Ultimatum deck, but that is not what we're staring at here. So I'm kind of confused. I mean, do I want to Showdown of the Scalds here? I mean, I don't feel like we're doing a whole lot. I mean, I can Humiliate, but I'm really only getting that. So yeah, let's attack. I might still Humiliate, though. I mean, this is just like a bad use of mana, really, though, if I do that. And if I do this, I'm not even sure what I'm looking for, I think is my other problem, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, that could have been worse. I mean, the sad part is Lorehold Command doesn't really do anything. Because we're going to lose it if I don't use it. But I could deal 3. Give each creature +1/+0. So that'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then they'd get a +1 from us casting the spells. 10. Now, opponent's still at 5. That's not great. I could... Oh, there's a Shadow's Verdict they found. Okay. Well, that's a thing. Well, that definitely changes things a bit. Okay. Let's start with... let's go like this. And then we're gonna put this on black. Play one of these, and we're gonna call Eureka Moment. All right. Oh, an Epiphany. Fair enough. That does a thing. What about Jeskai, Scott? I mean, it's weird to just stroll in and like yell Jeskai. I don't know what we're doing with that information. I mean, you can cast the spell. Oh, they wanted to eliminate first. Well, that's no fun. Well, let's cast this, and we will again call Eureka Moment. Thanks for all the likes, though, everybody. Then we're going to go ahead and make them discard that Yorion. Put a counter. I don't know if it really matters. We might have a 5-power creature, I guess, in case we need it later. Put this on white. Okay. Then hopefully next turn we can just cast Valky and make the opponent's life difficult. Ah, they find both times they found an ultimatum. Ah, that sucks so much. So much. Alright, well, oh, because I put that red land in, or, oh man, that's unfortunate. Okay. Didn't even think about it if I'd have drawn a Bone Crusher. If I'd have made that land red instead of white, I'd be much better off here. Alright, sadly, this is what we got to do. The only good news is if the opponent can only cast Eureka Moment, it takes most of their mana. So they'll likely be close to tapped out, regardless of what happens. And we get a chance to take it away from them with the Humiliate. Ah, Soul Shatter. Well, wasn't expecting that. Right. Well, now we'll put it on red, because, you know, that's a thing. Top 2. Sweet, sweet. Don't hate it. Oh, man. Opponent is sick ripped. Just, oh my gosh. You're kidding. How brutal is that? Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to attack for 3. We're going to play Extus. We're going to still be a mana short. I think we still do it, though, anyway. Put this in tapped. Because, again, if they use Eureka Moment, they're not going to have much mana left over. So, I mean, they're going to have to top deck another removal card. If we can take whatever big thing is they end up keeping in hand, we can make this a 3, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Almost enough to be lethal. Though we could get back a Bone Crusher Giant, which would be 10, 11. There's a... Oh, man. All right. Well, that could change things, too. There's a lot in play happening here. No matter what, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do this anyway. Let's get the Bone Crusher. All right. It was a Valky. Sure. We're going to go ahead and play this. I don't know if we have any... Oh, we do have a Silver Quill we can get back. That's all fine and good, I guess. All right. This is it. What'd you top deck, opponent? Nothing. We win. Ooh, boy. Well, we'll find out if this is worth keeping or not. Because here's the thing, right? We can go get a Swamp, and then we have white, so we can play everything but the Bone Crusher. The problem is, if they play something we want to kill with the Bone Crusher, well, speaking of, there's a hall monitor. So, I think, though, we still have to get a swamp, though. I mean, hopefully we draw a white land? Maybe? Okay, we did not. Okay, so we're still going to put this on white. And I think here we're just going to play this. And since we know we're playing against red, let's go ahead and call maybe Robber of the Rich. Stomp, probably fine. Let's go with that. Actually, does that count? Because it says non-land card name. But Stomp isn't the card. Stomp is the spell. Oh, that's weird. I actually don't know that rule. I guess we have to call Robber of the Rich. Yeah. Alright. I'll have to check on that after the game. I hadn't really thought about that till right now. If you try to call one of the adventure sides where it's a spell, but it's not the name of the card, does it even do anything? No, they actually had Robber of the Rich. Well, we lucked out anyway. Look at that. Good thing, too, because it looks like we needed the card. Oh, the opponent got a Valky from us. Well, unfortunately, our hand's going to end up being too slow here, potentially, so we kind of have to do that. Oh, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Alright, so we just have to pass here, sadly. Mostly because, I don't know, I guess we could have got away with an Expeditions Expert. But I'm thinking if they have like a Nax or something, I want to be able to exile it. Oh, crap. They didn't even have that? What? Alright, I don't know what they had. I guess it's just a bunch of Embercleaves and Torbrins? Or, I mean, I guess it could be the Blade Historian, because some decks are playing that. Man, we needed a land there bad. We needed to be able to get that Spellbinder off. Missing a land is definitely a way this deck can lose. Yep. Looks like that is what's in their hand. Just high-cost things. Alright, here comes one. Assuming it's a Torbrin. Yep. Good news, we can kill a Torbrin. So let's block here. Let's pass. Have to discard. I'm totally okay doing this, though. Mostly because if we can get the opponent to... Well, I don't know. I mean, assuming they have another Embercleave? Ah, damn it. Goldspan Dragon. Ugh. Gross. The way things are going, we're going to be better off trying to kill the Goldspan Dragon, because I can at least try to throw, like, Bone Crusher or something in front of the Torbrin. Assuming the other card in hand isn't an Embercleave. If it is, we're just going to die anyway, so that's not really here nor there. Oh, you were the wrong card. I mean, we'll call Embercleave just for sports, but I don't think it's going to save us. If the opponent has it, we'll have one turn. Good news is we'll get a card off the deal, so that could help. No blocks. No Embercleave. Nothing. Alright, well, if we draw an untapped red source, we can double shoot Torbrin. Alright, well, that's not going to happen either. I have all this wishful thinking that's going nowhere. Let me tell you. Oh, what are we doing here? Alright, I guess we just have to play this. And hope the opponent has, like, just a land. No attacks. I mean, I wanted to play the Spellbinder, but, I mean, if it's something that only does, like, 2 damage or whatever, I didn't want to waste that. Now, that's going to be a problem. Not that we could have got that out of the opponent's hand anyway. Alright, well. Here it comes. Nope, still no Embercleave. Another Torbrin? Yep, alright. Makes sense. Okay. Well, I guess this is kind of what we got to do then. This is pitiful. Good news is if we can get an Extus out, we're going to have Bone Crushers for days. But next turn, we don't even really have a good play. I mean, it's play Spellbinder just to block something, maybe. Humiliate's just going to be a +1/+1. I mean, I think we really want to get Extus because of the first strike. And at least give us a chance to maybe make Extus like a 3 or 4 power. Might be our way out here. Alright, I mean, no attacks. We'll have to double block. I mean, maybe they just draw a land? I doubt it. They've drawn a lot already here. And if it's Embercleave, we're still dead. I mean, we'll just be real about it. Alright, we'll do what we can. I mean, sadly, they do still get access to our Valky because Faceless Haven counts as a rogue. So they will be able to get our Extus, unfortunately, which is going to wreck our face. Yep. And we have to draw a card to kill that right now. Because them getting an Extus, like, if they get something that deals damage and then getting anything back, it's going to be bad for us, especially at Torbran. Okay. I mean, I guess we gotta. I mean, all we can do is hope they draw a land or get some small creature. That's literally all we can bank on right now. I mean, they might, like, I don't know, stomp us, turn their Extus on, and then we can make them discard the Torbran they would pick up. I mean, like, there's some weird, like, corner case things we're kind of working through, but that'd be our best play right now. Alright, so they're turning on Extus, and then doing what? Robber. That doesn't really do it. I needed that land, though, opponent. I would have really appreciated that. So we're going to take 4 from our opponent's Extus. Or we could block and trade, and I get an Extus back, but then there's a chance they get to get stuff from us with the Robber of the Rich. This is kind of sad, because, honestly, I think I have to do this. Mostly because them having access to an Extus is just worse for us, which is so terrible. Alright, here's hoping. I mean, good news is if it's Embercleave, we just trade. So that's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Alright, it's a land. They get access to a spell of ours. That doesn't kill anything. That's good. It has to be a monocolored creature. Does not target Extus. Whew, alright, so we dodge a bullet there. Okay. We're blocking. I can't blame the opponent for attacking and hoping for the best, though. Like, you know our deck plays removal, you know we have quality creatures. Even if they'd have found something like a Lorehold command, they'd have been able to cast it. Okay, so if we get back... I'm kind of wanting to play Humiliate and then get back a Bone Crusher. Just to have, like, a little protection. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then, it's not great, but I'm just kind of, like, holding out. I probably could have attacked for 6 there. Yeah, I actually could have. There's nothing here that they would have had with haste that we wouldn't have been able to deal with the 2 mana. Even if it was like a Phoenix. They're only 2/2s. Alright. Here we go. We're going to cycle some Bone Crushers with good old Extus. Alright. We're going to cast this one. Attack. Alright. I think we're good to go now. Phoenix of Ash. Oh, no! Well, no, that's lethal anyway if they attack. Because that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can make it 6. Can't kill me. It's only +2. Yep. Can go to 1. Not dead is the answer. That'll do it. Wow. Wow. We got stuck on land for so long. Ooh. So far, we haven't just felt like dead against anything, which is pretty nice. We'll keep. The only thing is on turn 2, what we want to do. If we want to, like, Valky so we can see their hand, then, like, Silverquill Silencer. Because if we do that, then Expeditions Expert actually gets to pick, like, 2 things, which is pretty sweet. This is just going to go white, and I think we are going to Valky, because there's a chance we're just playing against Winota here. No, this is not that. Alright, we'll take Daxos. Why not? No blocks. Oh, that's kind of nice. I was going to do something completely different here. I was thinking we might want to actually play Silencer and call Apparition, knowing they'd want to be getting their creatures back. But maybe we don't. Because then we get, they do 3 damage, we get a card, they get our Valky, they get Daxos back. But then we could play this and get the Maul. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to see if we can get this Maul out of the opponent's hand. So let's go, we'll call Skyclave Apparition. And I'm going to feel bad putting this on red, because I'm sure I'm going to want white as soon as I do it, but... Alright. So this is kind of like, alright, you can choose to play the Maul of the Skyclaves here if you want, or you can try to get your Daxos back, because I know they love having Daxos. Oh, Speaker of the Heavens. Well, that wasn't part of the trade. Well, damn. Okay, then. That didn't quite work out according to plan, let me tell you. Now, that made our mana not matter as much. Well, here's the bad part. Now we have to go ahead and get Skyclave, or Maul the Skyclaves anyway, because we don't want that to end up on the speaker with us having no removal cards in hand. I would have kind of been okay with it if we had something like... Ooh, there's a Luris, too. Alright. If we'd have had, like, a Stomp or something in hand, I wouldn't have felt as bad about it. I mean, I'll attack here, because there's nothing they're really going to do. We'll attack with the 3-2. I mean, I guess if they want, they could block, sack the Savior, knowing they're going to play Luris and get the Savior back next turn. It wouldn't be the worst thing. But if they play Luris here, either one of those they play, we'll be able to get the other one most likely. Because they're going to play a land and then only have 2 cards in hand. So that's pretty good for us. Though if we do get an untapped land, we may not do anything, see if they find a land. So they can try to play the Skyclave, Maul the Skyclaves, and then we can kill something with that on the stack. So that could really change things, potentially. Oh, I actually want to get that. Cool. Guess that makes sense. Sure, yeah, I'll take some damage. I'm good with that. Like, I don't care that much. Not married to the idea. Oh, now, okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. What do we do here? Because if they try to put Skyclave... Well, the thing is, they still have Selfless Savior is the other problem. Did they not play a land? Why did they not play a land last turn? Did they just forget? Or maybe they were trying to block our acquisitions experts? I mean, they could have been being super savvy. Huh. Huh. Because now I'm thinking, like, knowing we have the Extus... not yet. I'm going to say we could try to get the Silver Quill Silencer down and then change what it's on. Though we could get really savvy here, right? Because if something even does end up with the Maul of the Skyclaves, like, say, the Speaker of the Heavens, we could still attack with everything and with our stuff having Indestructible. Oh gosh, you're just giving us the Lurrus? Why are you showing us the Lurrus? Do you have another one? Let's find out. I feel like they do. Or else they wouldn't have showed us. Okay, well they're just dead. Alright. This isn't a bad start. It's not great, but we do actually have a Showdown of the Scalds to follow up with later, which is nice. Let's go ahead and humiliate. Let's see what the opponent's up to here. Ooh, a bunch of Scorching Dragonfires, Brazen Borrower, Goldspan Dragon. Not a fan of any of these things. I mean, but I guess Scorching Dragonfires. Yeah. I wish if I had a removal card in hand, I would probably not care about the dragon as much, but we don't. So I think this is just what we're gonna do. And I know they don't have the mana for a couple turns. I probably could have got rid of like a Dragonfire or something and been okay, but this way I feel like if we just play this, call Scorching Dragonfire, like, yeah, so be it. Let's put this on black. And then if they Brazen Borrow it, fine. If they Dragonfire, fine. Right? They didn't want to do that. Not sure why. Like, they didn't want to Petty Theft it or Dragonfire it. I don't know. Maybe their other card was a Primari command. And that would at least make sense. Alright, I guess we're attacking for 3. Would you like to kill our card, sir? Or ma'am? No, they would not. Ooh, is that a counterspell they drew? That could be bad. I mean, I guess we just do it anyway, though. I mean, what else we got going on? Our hand's pretty weak right now without it. And we're only going to have access to 5 mana next turn, so we're likely only getting 1 or 2 of these spells. No, Fable Passage doesn't hurt. Okay. Sure. I think we're just going to do kind of the same thing here, though, right? And then we're just going to straight up cast a Bone Crusher Giant, I think is the game plan. I think I'm going to get white with this, because I have access to another red land. So we just do this. Call Scorching Dragonfire again. I think we'll just play this. You can kill it and give me another card. Up to you, opponent. Because if you're going to use that other one to kill a Bone Crusher Giant, might as well do it or you're going to take 6. Hey, that was a nice backup to have to kill that Brazen Borrower later. I can dig that. Alright. Okay, so we did a good job reducing the opponent's hand here. Now we actually have to find stuff to do with all this land, because having multiple Lorehold commands isn't the best situation to be in here. Especially when the opponent has Goldspan Dragons. Alright, let's try to find something to kill a Goldspan Dragon. That would be great. I would like that a lot, deck. Hey, sometimes you just gotta ask nicely. Okay, so I think now our game's gonna start being about these lore hole commands. So I think we just exile that. Unfortunately, they do get the mana. They can play a Brazen Borrower here and all that. No! Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just gonna straight up play this. Because the only thing they can do is really just like make Shark Typhoons or whatever next turn. I'm okay with that. Oh, they didn't do that during their end step. That's not good for us. They're just going to try to big cycle Shark? Nope, not even that. Alright, I guess they're going to live in the land of counter spells. We are going to attack for 4. Alright. So they're going to play the Brazen Borrower. We will try to... Oh, what? What did... I guess this is a... Epiphany? Maybe? I guess that's what they're going to try to set up. A Shark Typhoon followed by an Epiphany? Alright. That's a thing, I suppose. I think we have lethal, though. If that's the case. Wait a minute. Targets... Oh, and then target player gain. So you have to choose who deals the damage, who gets damage, and gets the life. Alright. Yeah, because now, even if they blow both of these up and make a, like, one... Oh, they can't even do that. Yeah, still doesn't matter. Oh, actually it does. Because we can only shoot that for 2 now. Or for 3. Give this +1, put the opponent down to... Alright, I guess we have to. So, since it's not going to be lethal, here's what we're going to do. We're going to attack. I'm going to shoot the shark. And then I'm going to sack a permanent to draw cards. And then we'll gain the life. And then we're going to sacrifice probably one of these white lands. Oh, that's nice. That's real nice. And then we get to get rid of the Shark Typhoon. Oh. Oh. So good. We'll put... we may want to cycle that next turn. Let's put this on red. Alright. That was good. That was really good. Alright. If we can find 2 more damage. I mean, we can find Bone Crusher Giant. We can find... Or even find Extus. Because Extus, we shoot the opponent. We get another Bone Crusher. Oh no, both our Bone Crushers in play. They're in play in our hand. We don't have one in the yard yet. Alright, Galaza. Reasonable. Oh, that's big. Is that a counter in their hand as the last card? That is a question. Let's find out. Or a kill card. Could be like another, like a Scorching Dragonfire or something. So they're using the Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. I'm down with that. But then we just shoot the opponent for 2. And that's dead anyway. Alright. Alright, that was as fun as expected, so no complaints. It's surprising. I mean, that's the only thing I can really say about it. Like, you see it on paper and you're kind of like, this is a weird mishmash of cards, but it really gets the job done. Everything works in tandem, and those discard effects come in handy in a lot of situations. I will say I did go ahead and build a sideboard for this, so if you want to play it in best of 3, because I do think it is a deck that can be leveraged in best of 3 just as much as it can in best of 1. So if you're interested, the sideboard is already built out here. Feel free to season to taste, as they say, but I think it could be pretty good for you. And like I said, you may want to consider splitting the Vanishing Verse with the Baleful Mastery, depending on what you're running into. If you are running into things that have several multicolor cards, then it may not be the best for you to just be rocking these Vanishing Verses. But don't forget, you can use Vanishing Verse on things like Wolfwillow Havens and such to keep your opponent down on mana. And we've done that multiple times and it actually turned out to be pretty dang good for us. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're actually going to talk about one that's fairly new as it came out in Strixhaven, the Callous Blood Mage. And the reason I bring this up, but this is kind of the part of the year where you kind of start thinking about moving forward in Standard. And with the new set coming out that we know is actually going to be focused on vampires, we kind of have to start looking at other vampires. And here you have a Vampire Warlock where it does come with 3 abilities as well. And all 3 of the abilities could be good for different reasons. You know, being able to draw a card, being able to make a creature that can gain your life, or because there's going to be a lot of vampires, and I'm assuming zombies because we've done that before in Innistrad, graveyards could matter. So having another card that could wipe out graveyards could be pretty nice, and we don't really know what the D&D set's going to bring yet. So Forgotten Realms alongside the next set could bring some other stuff that really makes this type of card good. And there's a good chance you can get it pretty cheap right now. So it might be good to just scoop it, get a playset at least, and then if the value doesn't go up, you're only out a couple bucks. But if it does, you might have saved yourself 4 or 5 times that. But as always, if you want this deck list, it's going to be down in the description below. And again, if you want to follow me on Facebook, gaming, or Twitch on my streams, feel free to grab those links as well and come hang out. And as always, we do have a Discord that you can come say hi, come have fun, hang out, be part of the gang, get deck help, whatever it is you want to do, because we are well over 400 people now, and that is awesome. And we did clear our 12,000 subscribers, thank you for that. And we are now just a couple of days away from hitting that 1 million views. Oh, so awesome. Thank you all again. That is all I have for you for now. We will see you next time.